Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Dungeon Tactics. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this tabletop RPG that takes inspiration from turn-based strategy video games, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about class abilities. When it comes to class abilities, this is one of the best aspects of the game, but also one of the most troublesome. I will talk about those potential problems in a few moments. Let's start with the good. Each class has its own unique skill tree. You can choose to level up through the branches. You can specialize the character. So even if you are playing as a sage, don't think that you cannot tank. If you take this Psy Knight path, you will be able to tank to a certain degree. You will be a frontliner in a limited capacity. So in groups or parties where you don't have a tank or a frontliner such as the warrior, the beast shifter, that is a decent alternative as long as you don't abuse this area of expertise, because that is not the specialization of the sage. Now let's move on to the more troublesome aspects of these abilities. There are so many of them, so there could be several instances when those abilities perhaps clash in some way or interact in weird ways. You will have to pay attention to that. And I think some of them could be much better written. In the case of the scoundrel, you have slip away. You are considered to be in stealth until you are within vision range of an enemy or breaks stealth. What is vision range? You have sight range. When it comes to these precise games, where there is no randomness or little to no randomness, you need to come up with some good, clear explanations for this, very precise. So I'm guessing that vision range is the same as sight range. But then again, the stealth feature allows you to stay safe from the effects of abilities. They cannot use abilities upon you. But if you are found out the moment you enter the sight range, then the ability is either completely useless or highly situational, when only a few cases where you have abilities that target those beyond the sight range would come into play. So it is a very useless ability. I think there's a mistake. Maybe it should have been that your stealth goes away the moment you enter an adjacent space to an enemy. That makes more sense. Like you got discovered or detected. Now when it comes to the sage, you also have this ability. It says, you grant 4 physical and 4 magical armor to yourself or a target until the end of the round. What is physical and magical armor? There is only a single armor value. So I'm guessing that they mean magical armor and physical attack. Now when it comes to the warrior, you also have a tricky ability. Get behind me. You increase the physical defense of any ally within sight range by +1 for any warrior ability you use. This is very ambiguously explained. Perhaps it should read, whenever you use a warrior ability, you increase the physical defense of an ally within sight range by +1. And you are going to encounter some other abilities like this, where you have to really come up with your own interpretations before running the game. Otherwise, things are going to stall, you're going to stop the game, puzzled by how an ability works. You will have to adjudicate things in order to keep on the roleplay and the immersion going. So this is very confusing, and in a precise game like this, diceless, where there is no randomness, this precise terminology is very important. At the end of this section, you also have information on the ability effects, such as blessed, blind, fear, frozen, haste, invigorate, invisible, etc. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about equipment, the bestiary, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this diceless RPG. It is a bit disappointing that some of these abilities are quite ambiguous. Not all of them, I would say just a small portion of them. But if you want to play a precise game like this without the randomness of the dice, these things need to be a bit more clear. Nonetheless, all of the character abilities are quite thematic. You have abilities that push others, that damage them, that protect them, that heal them. You draw the attention of the enemy. So you really imagine the character interacting with the battlefield with the terrain, in the classic video game style that many of you know and love. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.